So yeah, the Switch 2 Direct happened nearly 2 weeks ago, and I'm only just now making a video on it. Yep, this is a hobby, alright? So, in the spirit of getting to the point and not wasting anybody's time, yeah, I have some concerns about Mario Kart World. Like, obviously, there's the initial hype of it all. Like, here's a sound clip from the day it came out. That about sums it up. But, like, as an actual game, it's concerning. For one, there's only 32 tracks in it, which I know that's the standard for Mario Kart. I know it used to be even just 16, but like, it's gonna be for competitive players like me. It's gonna be rough to go from having a whopping 96 tracks to just 32. It's like what, a third, I think. Yeah, it's going down to just a third of the tracks we're used to is gonna be a painful adjustment. Plus, it's like, for years and years, if you bought a Mario Kart game, you were probably especially even as a casual player, you were probably buying Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And that came in with the Mario Kart 8 DLC, so that puts you at a 48 as a basic. Given the fact that we're already paying $80, which is a whole can of worms others have gotten into better than I could, given that, I think it's reasonable to expect a high value proposition, or at least a reasonable value proposition. So given Mario Kart 8 had 48 tracks, and this is an expensive game, I don't think it's unreasonable to expect that, that 48 tracks should be the new standard. And I mean, there's a lot of content outside of the tracks, like there's the highways between tracks, though I have concerns about those. I mean, yeah, I guess they exist to justify the open world outside of it just being plain cool, but like, for one, how is this going to work in online play? Are we only going to have knockout tour online play? Because that is like a gimmick mode that wouldn't be fun to have. I prefer online play just because the bots are bad at the game. Like, even on hard mode, getting first place is way too easy for me at this point. That being said, playing against most people who are in similar rank to me on the online modes is also painfully easy, so maybe I'm a bit biased there. But, like, in the online mode, it's like, it's very good for flow. The flow of an 8 Deluxe is really good. One, because there's 98 tracks, which prevents them from repeating incredibly quickly. I mean, they still repeat pretty quickly. So it prevents it from getting stale. Plus, also, having them be completely isolated means it's very easy to have them in mixed up orders, which also stops staleness. But if they exist in these Grand Prix, I mean, they exist in Grand Prix before, but in these ones where there's connecting bits, and is the online mode just going to not have the connecting bits? Is it going to treat the connecting bits as tracks in their own right? I'm wondering how Mario Kart World's going to handle online casual play. Like, that's an interesting design question. And as for these in-between bits, I'm also very worried that they're going to be, well, filler, basically. Like, the tracks have all their interesting, unique themes and designs, whereas these seem to just be different biomes that exist between the tracks, and they seem very samey. They're all highways. You drive along them, you've got to avoid hitting other cars. Maybe occasionally there's environmental stuff, like you can go along power lines in the grassy area we see. Maybe there's some slipperiness in the icy area. It's like, but I'm worried that gameplay-wise, the in-between areas are going to be very repetitive and boring compared to the actual tracks, making them filler content. Also, if we have to race on the tracks plus go between them, they can also drag out the actual the Grand Prix, which would not be good. So there's the general open world free roam mode, which I know exploring could probably be fun for an afternoon or two, but like, unless there's actually things to do in the open world, like quests from the DS game, except put in the open world, it could be very, very boring and pointless, even soul draining to be just driving around this empty, lifeless world where the only signs of life are moving cars, and you can't get off your car, and you can't do anything off your car, and like there's nothing to even do in your car besides go places. That could feel almost depressing to try and play. So, they talked about how they're doing a direct on Wednesday. I guess that gives this video a deadline on like all the reasons going better in depth into Mario Kart World's features. And given the thing that I think it's Doug Bowser said about the price, where they're saying he thinks that we'll find it is worth the price when we get our hands on it. Yeah, the task they have on Wednesday is proving that to us, because currently the game looks like it's cool gimmickly, but like, it looks like it might be content lacking in terms of entertaining content, which I'm worried about. Leaving the realm of serious concern, though, there's also the fact that, well, I want to point out that the title's kind of technically misleading. Like, yeah, it's an open world, but like, this isn't Mario's world. For one, it's only one content. For two, it's only one continent, sorry. And also, it's like, we know that we've seen Mario's Globe. Mario Odyssey exists. If you can't say this is the whole Mario world, unless New Donk City and Toast Arena and Cogwald exist within it. And they don't. We also know that from Mario Odyssey that the Mushroom Kingdom is an island nation. This also has all the traditional biomes associated with the Mushroom Kingdom in the new Super Mario Bros. Games and Mario Bros. 3. So what that must obviously mean is that this is not actually going an open world of the whole of Mario's world, but in fact just an open world of the Mushroom Kingdom, which is cool in its own right, by all means. Whilst in the treehouse, they were talking about how they have a ton of different Mario enemies and random Mario characters put in as as racers, because there's 24 racers and you need variety. And it's like, given that, I'm pretty bothered that we kind of don't see any of the Mario Odyssey Kingdom races in this game. Like, yeah, there's a lot of them. Having all of them might be a bit excessive, but like, say like the new Donkers and the Toast Arenans, it's like those two is like the most iconic ones. Is that too much to ask for? Honest to God, I'm not too inherently worried about the price tag turning people off, given I get the feeling most people are probably going to buy Mario Kart World as part of the Switch 2 bundle, which puts it at $50, which is under the traditional $60 standard, technically. But, if they can't prove that it's that Mario World, like, I'm worried that Mario Kart World won't actually do a good job of actually selling the Switch 2, but as well it's big and flashy, yes. It's also a storyless multiplayer game, which a lot of people like. I've learned to like them over the years, but they aren't necessarily everyone's vibe. You know, the Switch sold well from launch because, like, Breath of the Wild is this amazing, like, oh my god, we can go anywhere in this massive world and talk to people, and the bokoblins are, like, almost sentient. It's like the value proposition of Breath of the Wild is insane. It's hard to describe how incredible it seemed, especially back in the day. I mean, open worlds existed before, but there were few quite as densely populated with stuff to do as Breath of the Wild. Hell, there still is very few that are quite like that. So, I mean, I guess Mario Kart World is also taking a traditionally linear series, making it open world, except the idea of taking an RPG and making it open world is common sense. The idea of taking a racing game and making it open world isn't. And it's hard to believe that this is going to be quite the same insane, amazing scope as Breath of the Wild. At the fundamental level, this is still a racing game. So especially given the price, and especially if they fail to substantiate how fucking cool it's going to be, I'm actually pretty worried that it's not going to draw in quite the same crowds for the Switch 2 launch that Breath of the Wild did for the Switch. But I guess that sort of blunders just what happens after a company has a successful console generation, and then they get overconfident, and then, yeah. I mean, it's pretty much bound not to be as gross of a failure as the Wii U, but maybe it'll be a modest, okay survive, like, it could be as bad as the GameCube. So yeah, that was a video. I actually decided I wanted to make it about a week ago, or I started floating on the idea of doing YouTube again about a week ago. Then I actually started recording the audio. When was it? Like Friday, I think, or Saturday. I don't remember, but yeah, I just recorded the audio. Then like this morning, actually, it might have been yesterday. I actually recorded it or the day before, because I just like took the audio. I put some Mario Kart gameplay over it that I like filmed, and I hadn't filmed, but like it scanned it off YouTube. If you notice, there's a little thing in the corner where people are talking. And yeah, I put it together. I didn't have any music in it. This is me coming back. This video's in Pleasant Daylight on Wednesday. Yeah, it's basic.